And Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So today I wanted to talk about a chapter which is part of the Book of Lost Tales by JRR Tolkien. And so as I was reading the first chapter, which is the Cottage of Lost play, I was really curious to find some videos about this guy named Ariel, or Ariel, I don't know in what way you correctly pronounce it. And as I was looking for videos, I discovered that there weren't many videos about it, so I figured why not make a video. So it's gonna be a short one today. I'm also going to read a poem from the book. So what I really want to do today is summarize what I've read. This part of the story is about Eriol. Ariel, I don't know how you pronounce it. And he is a traveler and he has always liked traveling. And one day he ends up on the Lonely Isle, which is called Tol Eressëa. So after many days of wandering this island, he comes across this beautiful town and a beautiful cottage. And so he decides to knock on the door. This beautiful place really makes him yearn for a kind company and for tales. And so Ariel knocks on the door and this guy opens. And Ariel wants to find out who is the owner of this cottage. And so this guy lets him into the house and says that the cottage is the property of Lindo and Varie. And so this guy tells Ariel that Lindo and Varie are living in the cottage with their folk, their friends, and many children. Now Ariel becomes even more curious because the cottage isn't that big. So this guy says they live with like a lot of people in there. So when Ariel enters the cottage, he's really surprised by how big it looks inside. So what happens next is Lindo and Varie, they give him a warm welcome. And Ariel introduces himself as the stranger. It is also said that Ariel is a name that they have given to him because no one knows his true name. Ariel actually means the one who dreams alone. Ariel also tells them that he is coming from the Great Lands. The term Middle Earth is not used in the Book of Lost Tales. So Lindo and Varie, they invite him to a dinner by candlelight and firelight. It's all very cozy. Ariel tells them about his adventures and his travels, and Lindo tells him about the history of the island and the history of the cottage. Okay, so now I will be reading the poem of the Little House of Lost play, and this should be the final version. We knew the land once, you and I, and once we wandered there, in the long days now long gone by, a dark child and a fair. Was it on the paths of firelight thought, in winter cold and white, or in the blue-spun twilight hours, of little early tucked-up beds, in drowsy summer night, that you and I in sleep went down to meet each other there, your dark hair on your white nightgown, and mine was tangled fair. We wandered shyly hand in hand, small footprints in the golden sand, and gathered pearls and shells in pails, while all about the nightingales were singing in the trees. We dug for silver with our spades, and caught the sparkle of the seas, then ran ashore to green-lit glades, and found the warm and winding lane that now we cannot find again between tall whispering trees. The air was neither night nor day, an ever eve of gloaming light, when first I glimmered into sight the little house of play. New built in it was, yet very old, white and thatched with straws of gold, and pierced with peeping lattices that looked toward the sea. And our own children's garden plots were there, our own forget-me-nots, red daisies, cress and mustard, and radishes for tea. There all the borders, trimmed with box, were filled with favorite flowers, with blocks, with lupins, pinks, and hollyhocks. Beneath a red may tree, and all the gardens full of folk, and their little own language spoke, but not to you and me. For some had silver watering cans, and watered all their gowns, or sprayed each other, some laid plans, to build their houses, little towns, and dwellings in the trees. And some were clambering on the roof, some crooning lonely and aloof, some dancing around the fairy rings, all garlanded in daisy strings, while some upon their knees before a little white-robed king, crowned with marigold, would sing their rhymes of long ago, but side by side a little pair, with heads together, mingled hair, went walking to and fro, still hand in hand, and what they said, ere waking far apart them led, what only we know now.